Hey guys, so today's video I wanted to talk about disabilities and the fact that what I think is severely lacking in the disabled community, if you want to call it that. I really don't like to use those terms, but for the sake of reaching out to you guys, I do use the technical terms. But I wanted to talk about the fact that the disabled community needs confidence and a purpose. Because if you think about it, all the way back to when our mothers were pregnant with us, the doctors were pretty much telling them that we might not live, even going as far as to give them the option to abort us. And that reflects differently depending on the type of parent, where you can get a parent who gets pissed off and raises their kid to be the complete opposite of that, or the doctor can scare the crap out of the parent and cause them to be scared and in turn raise their child that way. And that will definitely, one of the things that it will cause is a lack of confidence. And a child that thinks that they can't do anything that they set their mind to. And you can. If you're watching this and you were raised to think that you can't, I'm telling you that you can. There is a purpose for every single living, breathing person, thing, whatever, on Earth. Don't stay so focused on what you quote unquote can't do that you miss everything that you can, because you can. Think about the fact that you're alive already makes you miles ahead of what many people thought that you would ever do. But don't stop at that. Don't be like, oh, okay, well, I'm already breaking records or whatever. No, let it do what I feel is my slogan, or whatever you want to call it. Push past paralysis. And if you know me, you know that doesn't necessarily mean physical paralysis. The biggest form of paralysis, as far as I'm concerned, is fear. And many in the disabled community, as well as their families, have that form of paralysis. And it's toxic. It's poison. Everybody has a purpose. It's different for everybody. Your purpose may or may not be related to your disability. Like, I feel mine is trying to inspire people, whether they're disabled or not, whether they know somebody who's disabled or not, to push past their own form of paralysis. Yours might be completely different. You might be great in math. You might be, great in whatever craft that you do. You might be a talented singer. Just because you might not be able to utilize a body part in the same way as somebody else, whether it's outwardly physical or emotional or, whatever, what have you, doesn't matter. There's something that you and only you can and are meant to be doing. And it's up to you to figure out what that is. You could start by asking people what they think you're the best at. Because if you're coming from a place of a lack of confidence, you might need the people around you to build that up in you, to show you what you're good at. And for some people, that really might have to be completely non-related to your disability if you're having trouble coping with the fact that you're even disabled in the first place. Because I know people who are in adulthood have been disabled since birth and still haven't completely owned their power, which is what this is all about. This is what this boils down to. So, chase your passion, and that will help you find your purpose. Confide in people who you know are going to lift you up and help you find it, and not people who are fear-based in their own life as well as for you on your behalf, because they'll keep you small. Well-intentioned, but they won't allow you to push past paralysis in the way that you deserved. And I feel like this would not only help on a personal level, but so many more people with disabilities would get jobs, be independent more in their day-to-day life, not rely not only on society to label and define them, but what would we need the government for? I might be in the minority here. I want to be without Social Security after a while. Sure, I'm entitled to it. Sure, I need it right now. I'm glad I have it. But it is my dream, and it's not even just necessarily to be without Social Security. My dream is to be a business owner of a successful business, an independent woman. Yeah, I want a family, husband, all of that, but financially, I'm striving to be financially independent. That might not be your goal, but your mindset, I hope, is to not be kept small. And that's something that Social Security has us do. How many of you watching this right now are afraid to work because of that? It has nothing to do with your disability. There are people who are afraid to work because of that, but how many of you are afraid to work because you're afraid to be taken off of Social Security too early? Been there. I worked overtime once and lost it for a month. So there's so many psychological games that we play with ourselves, that society plays with us, that the government plays with us, that our well-meaning loved ones play with us. We gotta stop it. You have a purpose, and that is the most important thing. Chase that. Even if you chase it as a hobby at first, and you don't monetize it, fall in love with it first. Fall in love with your potential. See your own potential, and then fall in love with it, and don't stop chasing it. Then use it to your advantage. Whether it's to build more confidence, financial advantage, and always try to inspire somebody. Because you could be looking at somebody right now. If you're in a place where you're lacking the confidence, you could be looking at somebody right now in the Starbucks who's in a worse mental state than you are, with all of their physical parts working, quote unquote, perfectly. Subjective. But they could be in a lesser state of confidence. So you never know, and this is a whole other issue, but you never know what somebody's going through. So you need to build the confidence in you to just go for it and do what you feel called to do. And that's the bottom line. Don't compare yourself to somebody that you see at Starbucks, because you, like I just said, you don't know what they're going through. You don't know if they're in a worse state mentally, and they're looking at you as an inspiration for just being out of the house. Like, I have a problem with that sometimes because, like, what, you think that's all we can do? But people don't always understand your situation, so I try in my adulthood now to appreciate that as a compliment. But you don't know if you're inspiring somebody who you're perceiving as being so much better off than you. You could be inspiring them just by living independently, freely, confidently. You never know. And I'm not saying you're not going to have your bad moments still. We're all human. I wouldn't even say bad. Your lower moments. You're gonna. But don't ever underestimate the power that you have. And always have confidence in that. Because helping somebody else is always our purpose. But it has to start with us. If you don't have the confidence in yourself and the self-worth, your purpose isn't going to show up. So, find what you're called to do. Like I said, it doesn't have to be related to your disability. It could be. That could be your purpose. Surrounding what you're called to do, like I said, financially or not, around your disability, or something else entirely different, maybe something that you love to do. But never underestimate the impact that you can have. And that's pretty much all I wanted to say. If you need any advice from me, I can help you through a private message. I have all my information, as always, in the description box. I could set up one-on-one coaching with you. I'm in the middle of writing another book. I have some others that will also be in the description. And I'll talk to you guys in the next video.